Hey everybody, Algebra 2 here. We are working in topic 2, lesson 2 this time. And two. What we're trying to do here is to use a vertex formula to find the vertex of this function, f of x equals negative x squared plus 4x minus 10. Now, the vertex formula, if you remember, or vertex form, it has that x minus h squared plus k stretch factor a out here. So when it says use the vertex formula, that means getting into this form. One of the first things that I would notice up above here is the fact that you've got a negative out in front of your x squared. That's going to have to make a -1 there. And you've got your x here. Now your h, let's talk about that. That h right there is going to be related to this 4. Because on that 4, if you're going to have two things, they're squared, so that means something times itself. Your x is going to be in both spots. And this 4, there's a number here times this x and this. So these two things, if it's squared, have to be the same. And it's going to be these x's and these x's, and they have to combine to make a +4. And so you're going to need a 2 in there. So you've got 2 x's here and 2 x's here. So it's always going to be that number. If you, as long as you don't have any number out in front of here, in front of the x squared, it's going to be this middle number. So that's like the b, if you think of ax squared plus bx plus c being the same. It's always going to be the b divided by a 2 is what you're going to get to go right there. So there's going to be a 2 in here, except it's a +2. And we'll check that because maybe this negative out in front of the whole thing could mess that up, but we'll just double check our answer in the end over in decimals and see what happens. So there's my negative for the negative in front. This 2 is going to be the part that gives me these 2x and 2x combined to make the 4x in the middle. Well, then what do we have so far? Because this k out here has got to balance it off so it goes back to this original -10. So let's think about this. We've got x plus 2 and an x plus 2. And again, we got this -1 out here. So we might think about that because this is there's a x squared and a 4x. And if we look at it like that, and then we got that +2, so we got a +4, but then all of that has a -1 out here. So this is going to be my -x squared, but see, that's a -4x. So that's the part where I was saying we might need to go back and rethink that this stuff in here, this might need to be x minus 2 and x minus 2 to make a -4x right here, so that the -1 on there backs it back to our original. Because that was originally a +4x up there when you go back up here. And so we need this to be a +4x. So we'll just check it in decimals and make sure, but I think at this point, you would need to be leaning toward this in here. We better think about that being an x minus 2. Okay, so back to there then. We would have the x squared from these two x's multiplied, then the -1. So we do have a -x squared. -2x and -2x is -4x, but then like we have here, but this -1 times there. -2 times -2 is a +4 multiplied by, so we really have a -4 right now if we have it like this. And we're supposed to have a -10. So we need another -6. We have -4, and we need to get to -10. So we need another -6 on there to turn that back there. So this would tell me my vertex right here would be, remember it's the opposite on the 2 here where I have a -2 right there. It's the opposite. So I've got a -2. So H is a 2, and then this is K is a -6, and HK is the vertex. So in this case, I would have 2, -6, but I still kind of want to let's just jump over. It's pretty easy to do. We can check this in Desmos and see if it equals the same thing. Remember our original problem here, got so much stuff written here. I kind of have a mess. Let me erase some of that off from you so we can read it. The original problem was -x² plus 4x minus 10. And what we have right now that we're thinking, it's -1 x minus 2 squared minus 6. And let's just check, we'll just graph both of those in Desmos. And if they really are the same, they should line up right on top of each other. So let's hop on over to a Desmos. Go to the graphing calculator there. But in that original problem, y equals -x squared plus 4x minus 10. And we said it was going to be at 2, -6, and that looks like where it is. Move that up, that vertex right there. So I think we were right, but we can put the other one in just to be sure. So this one, I'm going to write it in function notation. F of x equals the -1 x minus 2 quantity squared. Arrow to the right. That was shift 6 to get into the exponent, the little caret. Arrow to the right to get out of the exponent, and a -6. It's right on top of it. So indeed, that is correct. All right, let's go back over to our problem. Now we were supposed to identify the vertex. So our vertex again, the 2, comma, -6. That's all you need to do for that problem, I believe.